Hello friends, my name is Akshat and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this section I would be covering the pseudo coding test that came on the 28th September of Infosys Recruitment Test. Okay, so let's start with the first question. So it says that predict the output of the following pseudocode if the value of n is 35. Okay, so we have been provided with the initial value of n, that is 35. And now what we have to do, we have to just implement the whole function. We have to dry run this program and check what would be the end value of n. Okay, so it starts from I equals to 0 and n equals to 35. So first it checks n mod 10 is not equal to 0. So is 35 mod 10. Mod 10, mod 10 would basically will just fetch out the last digit of the number. That is, in case of 35 it would be 5. N mod 10 would be 5. Okay, for in case of first iteration, and then n equals to n plus 3, that is n equals to 38, and I plus plus I would be equal to 1. So now for next time, for in the next iteration, n mod 10. Now since the last value of n is 38, it would be now 8. Okay, so now n equals to n plus 3, that is 41, and I equals to 2. So again the next iteration, n mod 10. Now the n mod 10 value of this would be 1, and n would be equal to 44 and I would be equal to 3. Then again n mod 10 equals to 4, n equals to 44 plus 3, that is 47, and I equals to 4. Okay. So now this would be the last iteration. Now the value of n mod 10 equals to 7 and n would be equal to 50. And when I is incremented by 1, then the value of I would be 5. Now when this value had been reached, then again when the while loop would check n mod 10 equals to, now it will check what does actually the mod value of it, and you will now see that the last digit of 50 is 0. Okay, and the condition here is says that don't break the condition till it's not equal to 0. So now the condition, while condition, breaks, and now the program shifts from the while loop to the n equals to n plus I, that is after the end while statement the program will shift, and now the program is simply n equals to n plus I, and the value of n is 50 and I equals to 5, so that would give me 55. So this is the correct answer. So now in exam you don't have to use this much process. It would consume a lot of time since there are only 10 minutes and 5 questions are there for pseudo coding. So you have to do each question within 2 minutes. Okay, just yes. So to do this problem within 2 minutes, you just have to understand you just understand the first iteration. That suppose the first iteration says that this condition would be looping till the last digit value is not equal to 0. And inside the loop, what is happening? The n is incremented by 3 every time. So just keep adding the value of 3 for first 3, 3, 3, and add it till it is not equal to 50, till it's not equal to, you can say, till the last digit of the addition is not equal to 0. Okay, so it would be like 35, then 38, then 41, 44, 47, and 50. Okay, so now here you know that this is the last digit, so you just have to count how much time this loop had been processed. So it's processed 5 times. So now you can simply just add 50 and plus 5 equals to 55. So this would save you a lot of time. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is question 2. What will be the number of star printed by the given pseudocode when input is 25? Okay, we have to tell how many times this particular single star is printed, and we have been provided with the initial value of input as 25. Okay, so now while input is greater than 0, so this loop will go on working on till the input is actually greater than 0, till it's not equal to 0, you can say. So for the first time it will go to the last else if, since it's 25, and it will fail this condition, it will fail this condition, and it will only pass this condition. So it's saying else if a star is greater than 20 and a star is less than equal to 30. So here you can see that it would be printed for the first, it would, and value of input would be 25, then 24, then 23, then 22, then 21. Okay, so when the value of a star is would be equal to 20, then it won't go into this condition, it will fall to the condition above it. It will go to this condition, not this condition. Okay, so you have to see, uh, you have to now see how many times in this star is printed. It's printed 3 times into this, so you just have to 3, and since this if condition had this else if condition had been executed 5 times, so that equals to 15. Okay, so from now, from 20, 19, 18, 17 till 11. Okay, till 11 it will fall into this else if condition, because star is greater than 10. So 11 is greater than 10, and it will start from 20, because why? Because it is less than equal to 20, that is from 20 till 11, and it would be like 2 into 5 equals to 10. Okay, because a star is 2 times, it will actually be 10, because a star is 2 times and this else if condition will execute 10 times, so it will be 2 into 10 equals to 20. Okay, let's move to the then after, when the value of number is 11, then it will again, actually there is increment also, I have forgotten it to write, because I'm just copying the question from the screenshots, I'm typing it out, so sometimes it's create a little mistake. So actually between in the while input, every time I is instead of I would say input is decrementing. Okay, so every time is input is decremented by 1, by the value of 1. So look at this now. It after this 11, it will, the value of number would be, after decrementing, it will be 10. Then from 10 till 0, because you can see that if when the number, when the input equal to 0, then this loop will fail, this loop will terminate and it will come out. So from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 till 1, because when the value of I would be 0, then it would be just out of the loop. So now you can count how many times it is. It is 10 times. And how many times the star is written here? It is written only single star. So it's equal to 10. So what you have to do, you have just simply now add 15 plus 20 plus 10. That is equals to 45. And so this is the correct option for this specific question. Let's move to the third question. So the third question says, you have a vehicle class, a car class, and a person class. So you basically have 3 classes, vehicle, car, and person. You have to implement the functionalities of a bird, dog, cat, bus, auto, and 2 specialized car classes. 2 specialized car classes for hybrid and electric vehicles. Which of these options is the most efficient way to do so? Okay, so let's directly, in these kinds of questions, you directly jump to the option and then go through the options, that which option to choose first. So that option A says 1. Okay, make a new class for all the required methods and implement all the methods separately. Okay, so before starting this, going to the option, I just want to tell you that your inheritance concept should be very clear. Like this question is from the OOPS concept, object oriented programming principle. Okay, so that concept of inheritance should be very clear, that what does inheritance does, it basically extract it basically use the property of its parent class. Okay, so after looking at the first option, we can say that we are in this option, in this particular option, it's making a new class for all the required method and implementing all the methods separately. So that's just like doing creating every classes, creating every method. So it's not using concept of inheritance at all. So we will reject this option. We'll go to the option B, 257. Okay, so second is says inherit the car class into specialized car and then implement the extra methods. Okay, this is very good because the car class, we are inheriting the car class and then uh, into the specialized car, and then we are using this for, we are completing basically this particular functionality is completed from the second option. Okay, next is fifth option. Make new class animal and use this to make the dogs, cats and birds class. Okay, so this is also good since we are creating a new class animal and we are using it to make the dogs, cats and bird class. Okay, so this functionality bird, dog and cat, this functionality has been covered into this. Okay, and now the seventh option, inherit a vehicle class for auto. So the option B seems correct, right, for me, at least right now it seems correct to me. Since inheriting the vehicle class for auto, so auto is also been covered into this. So in short, every class is covered and every functionality has been done with the help of inheritance. Let's go through the C option, 256. Okay, the second and fifth is correct. We have already checked it. Let's directly go to the sixth option. Sixth option says that make a new three-wheeled vehicle inherited from vehicle class for auto. We are inheriting the vehicle class for auto in seventh also, we are inheriting here also. But what this is saying, make a new three-wheeled vehicle. Now suppose for example, just assume that we don't know the auto is of three-wheel, because four-wheel auto is also launched recently, that the name is Bajaj Qute, I think, as far as I can remember. So that is also an auto, and but according to this, only three-wheeled vehicle would be considered into this. So to make it generalized, we will go with the seventh option and we will reject the sixth option. Okay, so we will reject the C option. Now we will move to the D option. It says 3, 4, 6. So what is 3 saying? Make a new class big vehicles and then inherit properties from it to make the bus class. Okay, that is fine. We are making a new class big vehicle and inheriting properties from it to make the bus class. And the next option is 4, inherit the person class to bird, dog, cat and then override. So see, this does not make sense. Like we are inheriting the person class to make animal, to provide the functionalities of animal, so it's not making complete sense to me. Okay, and along with that, we are not even considering this to specialized car classes because sixth option does not even cover it. So we will go with the option B. So that's like my intuition of checking the answer and how to do it. That's how I'll generally do while selecting the option in such question. Okay, so make sure that your inheritance concept is really clear, even if you are from EC domain or from any other domain also. Okay, let's go to the question 4. So question 4 is again the concept, and in this again the concept of inheritance is used. Let me read the question. Class A contains two methods, namely me and C. Class B inherits class A and overrides the C method. Oh wait, let me write it down first here. There is class A and there are basically two methods, me and C. Okay. Then class B inherits class A and overrides the C. Okay, so class B is basically inheriting the C, inheriting the class A, and it's overriding which functionality? It's overriding the functionality of C. Class C also inherits from A. Okay, class C is also inheriting from A, and it's overriding the C method. Okay, it's also overriding the C method. Class B and class C are both inherited by class D. Okay, so class D, class B and C. Okay, and now what is the given scenario? The given scenario is identify the problem generated by the behavior of the C method. Okay, so it's saying that there is method in this also that is named C. Okay, so now what is basically happened? Let me introduce this to you with the help of a chart. I have used this diagram from the Wikipedia. Okay, so there is one main parent class. Okay, these two are two child, two child, and this is subchild. Just assume as I'm naming it. So this is the parent class. Okay, so what is this happening here? B and C both are inheriting from one parent class. This is known as hierarchical inheritance. Okay, and now what is happening here? B and C, D is inheriting from both B and C. As you can see here, D is inheriting from both B and C. Here C is inheriting from A, here B is inheriting from A. So now what the exactly the diamond problem is? Diamond problem is when this kind of condition arises, and what would happen? Suppose if you have done programming, then you will understand that when I will be going to execute this method, when I will be using to perform this method, and I will say that this method would be called from the parent class. So now the class D would get confused that which parent class should it call from, either from B or from C. Okay, so this is basically the problem, diamond problem known as. So I have identified the problem, so the answer is simply in this case is diamond problem. So you can see that the inheritance concept should be clear. Okay, let's move to the fifth question now. Predict the output of the following pseudocode if the value of the number is 6. Okay, now here what he will do, k equals to 2, I equals to 2, while I is less than equal to number. Okay, the number is here is 6. This is the number here, and it's performing k equals to k into I, k equals to k into I, and what else it's saying? It's saying I equals to I plus 1. So basically you have to find the value of k after this execution. So this is simple. What we have to do, we have to understand that first the value of I here is 2. Okay, so for the first iteration it would be like uh, value of k is 2, so 2 into I, that is 2 into 2, that is k equals to 4, and then I would be incremented, I would be equal to 3. Then in the next iteration it would be like 4 into 3, and I would be incremented by 1 again, then it would be k equals to 12, and then I equals to 4. So you are understanding the pattern here, that what is happening. First it is multiplying it by 2, then from the next cases it's multiplying, basically the k is being multiplied like 2 into 2, then 3, then when the value of I increments, then 4, then 5, then 6. Okay, till here suppose the value of I equals to I plus 1, it gets 6 here. Then after the I gets incremented, the execution would fail. So this would be my final answer, and this is equals to 1440. So you have to understand the logic, that what the inner loop is actually doing, what the operations are being performed, and in which way. It's first performing, it's first time it's multiplying it by 2, and then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So you have to like this, do this, and save time in the exam. Okay, so this is the last question for today. uh, Initialize I to 5. Okay, I is being initialized to 5. Here also we have to guess the pseudocode, and the value of n is given as 10. While I is less than equal to, while I is less than n, increment sum by I. Suppose there is a variable that had been earlier been introduced, initialized by 0, then sum equal to sum plus 1, and increment I equals to I plus 1. Okay, so this is it, that's the main loop. While I is less than n, so how we will do this? We will say check while I value of I is 5 and value of n is 10. 5 is less than 10? Yes, it is less than 10. then sum would be incremented by I. Sum equals to sum plus I. Suppose the initial value of sum is 0, then sum equals to 0 plus 5, and then I would get incremented I equal to 6. Then in the next loop it will check 6 is less than 10. If yes, then sum equals to, now the value of sum is, now after this it's 6, so 6 plus, and the value of I after being incremented, it is 6, then it's equals to 12. Okay, so now the value of I would be incremented to 7, and it will go on till when? Till it's less than n. So here what is basically happen? Here it's happening is what? First it's being added by 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. Okay, sorry, here it should be 5, because sum is 5 and I is 6. Okay, so 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. As soon as the value of sum is 9, here in the corresponding cases the value of I would be, first it would be 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, 6. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when at the last the value of I would be 9, then when it would be incremented to 10, then this condition would break. And when this condition would break, it would come out to the loop and it will just print sum. So the value of this is 35. So the answer would be 35. Okay, so thank you friends for watching this video, and if you have any queries you may write it down in the comment section given below. If you have, other than this, if you have any other query regarding any specific question, then you may write down the question and I will try to solve it in my next video. And I will soon be uploading more videos related to Infosys test. Okay, thank you.